Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the SDK podcast. Spill the Karak, you know what it is. I'm Ahmed,
I'm Idris.
and this is a bit of a different episode. We're just gonna give you a little life update. We missed an
Yeah.
upload in the last week.
Basically, I'm going to give a life update.
Yeah, I'm just here for no reason. I'm just here for the sake of it. But yeah,
Big fight.
exposed. But no, Idris was in the hospital, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what to expect what to expect when you're expecting
A surgery.
what to expect in your first surgery and what your experience was like.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Hope you like it. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Over 50% of you aren't subscribed yet, so please hit that subscribe button and roll the intro. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. If you guys noticed, we missed an episode in between.
Yeah. Ahmed had a surgery in his ass.
So Idris is finally out of the hospital.
Yeah, it was me who had a surgery, guys. I had a pilonidal cyst.
It wasn't corona,
Yeah, it wasn't corona.
unfortunately.
I was always I was kind of worried to tell people that I'm in the hospital because, oh, he has corona. But no, I had this thing called pilonidal cyst. It usually happens in the lower back, upper ass portion because lower back is
Lower back is very vague.
yeah, upper ass portion where the crack start, a cleft is, that beginning.
Mhm.
That's where I had a boil or whatever.
Also, isn't it risky to tell people that you're in the hospital, not just because, oh, he has corona, but isn't it risky being in a hospital nowadays? Like, what if you get it from there?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm a med student, so I shouldn't be saying this, but
Listen, you are the one who always tells me that hospital is the worst place to be in because if, let's say, it wasn't corona right now, if you spend enough time in a hospital, you can get that a super infection,
MRSA,
MRSA, right? Just
methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, Staphylococcus aureus, Staph aureus. Yeah.
Now I was explain a bit about what a super because
Okay.
I know, but I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, so firstly, I do agree with you, and I've said this to you many times that despite being an almost doctor at this stage, I'm still at that stage where if I go to a hospital, even if I'm completely okay, it does kind of make me feel sick. I don't know, it's just the vibe there. There's sick people and there's dying people. I'm a pessimist, so I don't look at the side where, oh, there's kids being born and there's people being healed.
I don't think kids being born in a hospital is a good sign.
I think
I don't think it creaes a good vibe because it is like, oh wow, the family is so happy because the child was born, but the lady who gave birth has to suffer with this thing now
For
the rest
18
of her
years.
life. They're gonna
Yeah.
regret it and all of that. So
So I mean, some people are very optimistic that, oh my God, lives are being saved in a hospital. But I personally always get like very pessimistic vibes. But that aside, Staph aureus, it's type of bacteria, and the methicillin resistant part of it is that, so methicillin is an antibiotic, right? And basically, what can happen if you talk in layman's terms, if you're in a hospital, and let's say you're there for some other reason, and you are immunocompromised. That is to say, you have some sort of disorder or disease, or you've just had a procedure.
otherwise you're a psychopath.
Yeah, why are you in the hospital? which leaves your immune system slightly compromised, right? You are at risk for acquiring a staphylococcus infection, and it is different from a normal bacterial infection, this particular one called MRSA, because since it originated in the hospital, there is a good chance that it is resistant to antibiotics, and it's very dangerous and it can be lethal.
Right.
But again, we've gone off on an insane tangent. But the good news is Idris is back from the hospital. It's not corona. I know you forgot.
For a while, I'm like, yeah, we're talking about this today. No, we aren't. So yeah, I had this thing called a pilonidal cyst, and
Which for the first 2 weeks after your diagnosis, it shames me to say this because I'm a medical student, but you managed to sway me into your false pronunciation of it because you called it a pilonidal cyst, and I believed you.
No. I typed it as a pilonidal cyst as a typo, and you kept saying it, and you kept correcting me that it's not pilonidal.
Because you told me it was pilonidal.
And obviously, because you're a med student, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not pilonidal, it's maybe pilonidal.
We psyched each other, basically.
I didn't want to Google it before my surgery. Anyway, so basically what it is I feel like this people should know about because maybe you have it and you don't know because Okay, fine.
I think
Then
more importantly, people should know your first major surgery, what you should expect, right?
yeah, for that too. But like before that, I feel like I wanna do good in the world. So this is my thing. I wanna tell people that. So I had a boil there. The first time I got it, as far as I remember, was 2 years ago. It was more like a pimple, and it just that area slightly became a little hard and a bit uncomfortable to touch, and that's it. Like it wasn't a hassle that I would want to go to the hospital to get it checked at. So that happened 2 years ago the first time. Then it didn't. It just went away by itself. After a couple of months, it came back, and I didn't click on it that it's in the same spot and it's happening again. I was like, yeah, whatever. Fast forward in time, I kept doing the same thing. Last year, it happened to me, and it became like an abscess, which is basically became a pimple with fluid in it, pus in it, and it burst, and it was whatever was flowing out and all of that. So I was a bit scared. And then, sorry, I feel like, what am I saying? Suddenly, it's like, what?
Too deep.
Yeah. So then I still didn't think much to it because I was like, yeah, whatever. It's just an abscess. It's a hair thingy.
And it kept
Yeah.
coming and going.
Yeah. In Hindi, I think they're called bal tod. In English, I think they're called cutaneous abscess. In English, it's called cutaneous abscess.
A mild form of
Subcutaneous.
folliculitis, basically.
Yeah, fistula.
No, an ingrown hair.
Yeah, basically. Correct. Ingrown hair. That's the word I couldn't. Yeah. So then this
you
time.
know fistulas, but you
Yeah.
don't know ingrown hairs. Okay.
So this time when I had it, I just told Ahmed about it because he's a medical doctor, and nobody knew that I'm having this, because it's a kind of embarrassing thing to tell people that I have an abscess up my ass.
And also, if you wanted to, you have no one else to speak to.
True.
You have no one else
Yeah.
to tell.
I have how many subscribers do I have? 30? I have 30 people to talk to. Okay.
38.
Yes, I have 38 people to talk to now.
2 of those are us.
Really? Right, 3. I have 2 accounts. I'm kidding. So I went to a GP, and he was like, "Bro, go to a surgeon. Like, this is not my thing." So I was like, "All right." I went to a surgeon, and he was like, "This is a pilonidal cyst," and very casually he was like, you will have to get a surgery on it for it." And he was like, "It's gonna be a small surgery, and it's not gonna be a big issue." I was like, "Yeah, okay, fine." He was like, "It's a laser thing." I'm like, "Oh, laser means what? Light and all that?" Nothing will happen.
I think it's also interesting at this point to say that I thought your description of your surgeon was really funny, because I've never heard of or imagined a human being
Yeah.
like that.
Basically, okay, so he's an Indian guy. His name is Dr. Rohit Kumar.
Indian guy, Dr. Rohit.
Yeah, he works in Meteor. 24/7.
Let's not give away everything.
He's a pretty good doctor, dude.
Okay.
I really liked. I like his. I don't know. I just like him.
Yeah, you have a weird
You guys will know I
man
like
crush
him.
Monday on him.
Yeah. 'Cause, so he is basically really tall. I mean, yeah, that's really good. He's tall, and he's kind of built, and he has like a mullet going on, and he has these really sharp looks, and he's hot.
So the way Idris described him to me in one sentence was, he's an Indian guy who's really buff, really tall, and he has a blonde mullet.
Yeah, blonde mullet, and yeah.
That's wow.
And he very nicely was like, yeah, you have to get a surgery done. So basically, what happened, and like normally I'd never had to experience this earlier. So I was visiting a surgeon for the first time, and they have a board in their room, and he drew like a thing for me. Okay, this is what you have. I'm like, wow.
Okay, so they had a whiteboard, and he explained it.
Yeah, he explained,
Okay.
and I was like, wow, you're so nice, bro. Not bro. Then then he told me what it is, and he was like, you can get a laser thing done. It's not a big issue. And I was like, yeah, maybe it isn't. So he gave me a cream, and he was like, okay, come after a week and we'll do the thing. It's just a 10-minute procedure. So I come back, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then after 3 or 4 days, the thing becomes small. The oozing of pus has stopped, and I was completely fine. So my surgery was scheduled. I'm not
I
that
think it's
sophisticated.
both. I say scheduled because I am
Is it sophisticated or is it sophisticated?
sophisticated
Sophisticated. Oh,
and confiscated.
yeah,
Yeah.
confiscated is in all of the Indian schools. It's always confiscated.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Postponed it.
postponed it by mistakenly. So yeah, on Sunday I had my surgery last week, and
And up until the surgery, everything that you and I had discussed, and in both of our heads, it was ingrained that, of course, the doctor was exaggerating the 10-minute thing, but it's a very minor thing.
yeah,
You'll be in and out within maybe an hour,
Yeah.
and you'll be up and running within maybe a day.
Yeah.
And
Maximum.
our logic of the whole laser thing was that, oh, they're just going to do. Laser is one of those words like quantum entanglement. You say laser and everything makes sense.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, yeah, they'll do something with laser and it'll last for like maybe 30 minutes. And you'll be out within the hour and you're good. You're good to go.
So yeah, so what I understood from it was that basically I have a ingrown hair, which is a bit weirder than normal ingrown hairs. And what they'll do is they'll incise that part a bit. They'll make an incision there. Basically, they'll make a cut over there. I feel like if I'd said cut, then I would be like, oh, it's an incision. Because
I would not say that.
Fuck off.
I'm not the expert in medicine here.
Yeah, so they would make that cut and then they'll burn the hair follicle with laser, like how laser hair removal is done. But oh, okay. So
And wrongly, I assume the same as
yeah,
well.
and Ahmad is full on like, yeah, bro, nothing will happen. Or
To be completely
Why-
honest, I told you this afterwards that I did know it wouldn't be as simple as it is because you told me that he mentioned to you that they might either do laser or they might do a manual incision.
yeah,
And I did know that if he's saying they're going to do an incision with a scalpel, it's not going to be as simple as
Yeah.
it sounds. It's not going to be a 20-minute thing.
the thing is that he probably did say it right, but I heard incision. He might have said excision, which then would have made more sense to you because you know what an excision is.
No, but
And now
I
it's different from an incision.
true, but I did understand when you said that the other option, the other possibility is that he would do an incision with a scalpel. I did know it would be. I didn't expect it would be this serious, but I
Yeah.
did know. I thought maybe you'd be in the hospital for a day, but I never mentioned it because I felt like you are so easy to freak out.
I mean, who isn't if you have gonna have a
True,
surgery
true.
soon? Right?
I've never had one, so
Yeah.
I was freaking
So the
out.
surgery was on Sunday. On Friday, I had to go for the pre-op. They took my blood or whatever, urine sample also, which is weird to be in a thing. And then I had to meet with the anesthetist, and he explained to me what general anesthesia is and what local is. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I know, but I don't want to say that to him because like they kind of get offended with that. Doctors are assholes like that. Rohit is good. Then so obviously that's when like the fear kicked in. Where like why is he explaining so much more about general anesthesia than local anesthesia? Because this is a thing where I would need to be in general anesthesia because I'm very scared of putting down under general anesthesia.
I think that's now because I remember on Friday evening and Saturday evening you were so down for general anesthesia. You were talking to me and you
No.
were trying to convince me to somehow get me to say to you that yes, general is a good idea.
I was
You
I was
just didn't want
looking
to be
forward
awake.
to general, yeah, because basically by Friday ish I slept wrong or whatever, and I had a neck ache, and what I was thinking is like if I get local, so only my lower abdomen is gonna be numbed up and numbed down.
That's
Numbed
not your
up.
abdomen where it is. But yes, it's going to be numb. Yes.
Yeah, and I would be lying on my back. So if I'm lying on my back, and no matter how comfortable the thing that is made for me, I would still be under pain because my neck was hurting.
You'd be lying on your stomach, not your back.
Yeah, on my stomach. Yeah, did I
You
not say
said
that?
on your back. Yeah.
Acha, yeah, on my stomach.
Which Idris is doing at this moment. He's in bed on
Yeah.
his stomach.
Sorry, yes. So yeah, so on Sunday when I go to the hospital, I'm put on a bed, and then they do a couple of things before the operation. They did all of those things, and they don't treat you like a human being. That's weird. They treat you like a. If you guys stay in Dubai, you'll know what it feels like. You know what Eid al-Adha is. It's basically the Eid for Muslims on which they sacrifice a goat
Mm-hmm.
to feed the poor and themselves and whatnot. You feel like one of those goats on Eid al-Adha basically because they put you on a bed and they just like take you around.
I mean, firstly, you didn't even know that no one ever told you what time you were supposed to arrive at the hospital.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that was partly my fault as well.
It's not
but
on
fine,
you. It's
whatever.
not on you. I mean,
Yeah.
they should have told you. So
Yeah.
Idris didn't know
Thing
that
is,
he
I
was
don't wanna
supposed to be
I don't
there.
wanna bitch about the hospital because I have to go there again for
2-3
testing.
times. Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
upload this after you're okay.
Please. I don't want them to spit on it.
So he was supposed to be there 3 hours before the procedure, and he didn't know that.
Yeah.
So on the day he woke up, what did you say, like at 11?
Yeah, I was supposed to be there. I mean, my anesthetist told me that my surgeon has written in the paper that my procedure is going to be done at 1 p.m. So I thought, okay, I have to be there by 1 p.m. And I called and checked with the hospital about the same, and they said that the person on the call did not know how these things work. So she was like, you know what, if this at 1 p.m. to just come by 12:30. So I was like, you know what, I'll be there by 12:15. And I was asleep until 11 o'clock, and I got a call from the hospital. They were like, bro, where are you? Like, you have to come by 10. You had to come by 10 because you have to come at least 3 hours before your operation. I'm like, I know that about the airports. Like, you have to come 3 hours before your flight, but not operation. Like, what are you gonna do for 3 hours? But fine, okay, I was late. So I reach, and then they put me on a bed, and then they put IV and whatnot, and do a couple of things before the operation, and then they just drove me around the hospital to different rooms, and they would just parallel park me on the side to the wall and make me wait for like 40 minutes, and I'm just lying there without my phone, without anything. I'm just like, what are they gonna do? Like, what is behind me? Because I can't get up.
I don't know why hospitals, in particular surgeries, have such scheduling conflicts, but every time I've attended surgery, I have noticed that most surgeries are
But you
delayed.
have attended surgeries
Yeah,
because you were
as a student, not being operated upon.
Yeah.
I've never had a surgery, knock on wood. I don't think that was real wood. Anyways,
That is.
okay. But every surgery that I've attended, I've noticed that at the very minimum, it has been delayed by about 45 to 90 minutes from the time it was supposed to happen. And I don't understand why there's scheduling conflicts. Because it's not possible that every single surgery runs late because of complications,
Yeah.
right? That means there's something wrong with the surgeon. But yeah.
So I was on a stretcher for a while. Stretcher? Yeah, it's called a stretcher, right?
It is, I guess. They open the door with your head.
Yeah, they open the door. They open the door with the side of the stretcher that where my head is on. So it kind of feels like, and obviously I can't see the door coming, so I don't know. And suddenly there's a noise, and it's kind of freaky, scary, but fine, whatever.
So basically, you're being rolled down the hallway at full speed, and your head is towards the direction you're being
That's
rolled
the thing,
down.
that's a difference. So they had to take me in the lift also,
Okay.
and I was completely fine. Like, I had gone to play table tennis just the night before.
That's what was so crazy. The 2 days before, we played table tennis for 2 days in a row. You were
Right.
completely okay, which is why it was reinforced that this is a very minor thing.
It's a very minor thing. Yeah. Now I'm kind of like, wait, this is about insurance? But
What
okay.
have they taken from me?
But so yeah, I was pretty chilled about the thing. But anyways, then they take me around very slowly, and guys, we're at my place right now, and I have my nieces and nephews over. So I don't know if you guys can hear kids in the background. Just ignore that.
Try to.
Yeah. So yeah, and so when I had gone to the lift, there was like a guy in the lift, and pretty sure I was looking at him, kind of smiling, and pretty sure he thought, "Oh, what a poor guy, he's gonna die." And all. I'm like, "No, bro, just no, only I came, nothing happened." But yeah, whatever. So then I went for the operation, and the journey to the operation room that I had to be in was through a corridor which had at least four other operation rooms with their doors open, and in two of them I saw people lying on the bed. Like, I saw a bed, an operating bed, and someone's hand just falling off the bed, and I knew that something is going on there.
That's
and the
very
door,
ominous foreshadowing.
right? And the door is open, and I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, why is the door open? Like, isn't it supposed to be sterile and all that?" I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so the thing is, in all hospitals that have surgical departments have the quote unquote clean zone and the unclean zone, right? And the clean zone is supposed to be the sterile zone, which is the wing where all the operating theaters are. And that wing itself is sterile.
Okay.
So
the
although
thing
it is
is-
procedure to have the doors closed, it's
Yeah.
not an issue if the doors are
Yeah.
open.
The thing is, if it's a sterile zone, I came up from outside. Obviously, they gave me the hospital gown to wear, but all of that was in the private room in the hospital that I did with my dad and everybody in the room. I mean, I changed in privacy, but the point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. You know what? Leave it. Fuck it, I don't care. It's a good hospital.
Yeah,
So I
it's-
have to go there on Thursday.
Your bacteria would not reach that. I told you
Yeah,
about
The spit.
a lot of people have had this question that when you spit in the toilet bowl, sometimes it's a long, I don't know if this is disgusting, but sometimes it's a long strand of saliva, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people often wonder, me included, can the bacteria from the bowl climb up
Yeah.
the string into my mouth? And no, the fastest bacteria in the world would take 48 hours to climb up that string.
Yeah.
So you're good. I mean, they're good, you're
They're
not,
good, yeah.
because you're dirty.
So, anyways, that was pretty scary. And then when I entered the room, I see like all these big machines and these lights, and computers and wires around them.
You're sounding like such a boomer. Why were computers scaring you?
Because what do they want with a computer? Like they need,
That's
I
how
don't
they
know.
that's how they play music.
Yeah, dude. So, and I knew I'm gonna get general anesthesia. Until that moment, I thought that I'm going to have an option, and my surgeon will recommend something, but I still will have an option because the anesthetist was pretty. He asked me a couple of times if this is my first surgery. So I think that kind of they were asking to know if I'm comfortable with a surgery while being awake. So when I go in the room, my bed is set in a position, and there's a table with some. I don't know how to explain this on audio.
Okay.
It's like a
Oh, you're
block.
talking about the other bed?
Yeah.
So
There's a bed
basically,
on my left.
you were on a bed and there was a bed next to you
Yeah.
that had a trough
Yeah.
in it for
Yeah.
into which your abdomen would fit,
Exactly.
right?
So
Okay.
I knew that I'm going to be laying on that
Face
on
down.
face down.
Okay.
So
That makes me very uncomfortable.
it does.
How do you lie face down? I can't breathe suddenly.
Yeah, I can't breathe because
Exactly.
I'm on my face.
Right.
But yeah, so and I was like, how am I how do I even? It was pretty small. So like, how do I even fit in it? It was so weird, and I thought that I have to do it myself. But turns out that I was lying down, and someone from behind came and they gave me the mask, like a mask kind of thing. I
The
don't know.
general anesthesia mask.
Right.
Right.
The oxygen mask kind of thing that people know about. So and she was like, "It's oxygen, just breathe into it." And I'm like, "No, it's not. I can feel it. I can taste it." And I was even breathing from my mouth because upon nashedi hai. So like I was like also
I need some more of it.
yeah, I was inhaling through my mouth and everything. I'm like, yeah, give these drugs to me.
You druggie.
Yeah. So I was breathing into it, and I don't know how long I was breathing into it. I don't remember, but maybe it was like around 10 to 20 seconds, I guess. And then the doctor was like, "Calm down." I was calm, but the doctor was like, "Calm down, and you might feel a bit dizzy." This is what I remember that she said this. You might feel a bit dizzy, and as she said it, I was looking up, and I was already looking up, but like now I was looking up, and I saw there's a guy there. There are two lights right on top of me, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is. I feel dizzy. I feel weird, and that's it. I was out after that. There wasn't that moment where I was like, oh, I'm going to fall asleep now. No, it was just like I slept.
There was no gradual decline in
No.
consciousness. You just dropped off.
I just dropped off. And if anybody have had this question, do you dream and all of those things? No, you don't.
You just
don't-
woke up.
Yeah, you just wake up. It's like a second for you. There's no dreaming period. You don't know how much time has passed. Because normally when you sleep, you know how much time has passed. Kind of. You know that it's been long or not long. You've been dreaming a bit and whatever, right? You have these things in your mind. But here, when you wake up, it's nothing. You just remember that, yeah, the doctor told me you might feel a bit dizzy, and that's it.
I've always wondered, and I feel like no one can answer this. I've always wondered, do you feel awful after general anesthesia? But the thing is, the reason you can't answer that is because a part of your body was cut out. So how do you know why you feel awful? Do you feel awful because of the anesthesia or because you're missing a chunk of flesh?
Okay, so I'll answer that. Actually, so when you're given general anesthesia, they have to basically plug in a tube through your throat for you to breathe.
Because you're not breathing for yourself. Your body is basically kind of off. quote
Paralyzed.
unquote.
Paralyzed. You're in a coma. Kind of. Yeah, actually you're in a coma. Yeah. You're paralyzed. So you can't breathe. You can't breathe for yourself. Your bowel movements stop. Everything stops in your body. So that is why they put a tube through your throat for you to breathe. Now, if my operation, I think was about 1.5 hours.
Really?
I think about that long, or maybe 2 hours, because
What?
I think I fell asleep at 4ish p.m. and when
For
I
an operation that was scheduled at 1
Right.
p.m.
yeah, and I woke up 3 hours. I woke up at 6:30 in the post-op area.
That's so insane because even now, I was under the impression, like, I understand that we had vastly underestimated how big of an operation it was. But
Yeah.
even now, I thought that the time of your operation was like 40 minutes.
No. I think it was, or maybe it was 40 minutes, but
And
I
also
was
the-
out for all
I
that
think so
time
because
in
the
op
YouTube
area.
video you sent me for the guy operating
Yeah.
doing the same operation, that was 14 minutes.
No, 22 minutes.
Okay.
You know what? We'll link the video down. It's
It-
pretty graphic,
but
but
it's-
that's exactly what they did on me.
It's so fascinating.
Exactly what they did to me.
It's incredible, yeah.
You guys can check it out if you want. It's informative. It's disgusting, To some
It
people,
doesn't
maybe.
make sense. Like,
But yeah.
no one expects
Yeah.
that skin behaves that way, right?
So what they have done is, so I had a cyst there with a sinus in it. Sinus is a tract. So basically, there was a
Like a
hole.
system of tubes, basically.
Yeah, and so there was a hole in my skin that led to a system of tubes under the skin
Hmm.
that was open to the outside world, so it could get infected very easily. That's why I was having the boils over there and the pus buildup.
I would say correct so far,
Mhm.
but the reason for the pus buildup and everything was not external infection, but rather also more likely the ingrown hair follicles that
Right.
were irritating
Yeah.
the tubes, right?
Yeah, that yeah. So they had to remove that whole part of my skin, and if you remove part of my skin, where do you get the others? Like, where do you get extra skin to then put it back, right?
How do you patch it up,
How
basically?
do you patch it up?
And
Where do you
by
take it from?
part of skin, I mean, this is so difficult to put into perspective. But imagine, I'm not going to say rhombus because that might be harder to imagine, but let's just say, imagine a rectangle
Hmm.
and the diagonal is 12 centimeters.
Yeah.
That's how big the first incision was.
Yes.
That's huge.
So basically, you have 5 layers, right?
Yeah, give or
Okay.
take.
So your the there's a
Don't ever put me on the spot like that.
Yes.
I was like, do we?
there's a of your skin, by the way. There's a first layer which is very thin, but not so thin. There's this, I don't know the names.
Skin is pretty thick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to it.
Because the skin itself has 3 layers, right?
Because third is no, fourth is the fat layer.
Right, but the skin is pretty thick because it has 3 layers. It's got the epidermis, endodermis, dermis.
They cut 3 layers to me on me, or 6 on me.
The first layer that you're talking about, the skin itself has a subdivision into 3 layers, so it's pretty thick.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
It's thick. Matlab, it's
There's skin. There's
5 mm.
Yeah.
It's 5 mm.
There's skin. There's fat. There's fascias, and then
Yeah.
eventually there's
Yeah.
muscles.
So there is skin, and then there's a what is it called?
Subcutaneous fat,
Subcutaneous fat.
and then superficial fascia, deep fascia, and then
No.
muscles.
There's skin, and then there's a thin layer that's above the fat.
Okay.
What is
Mhm.
that called? Gluteus maximus.
No. What you're talking about? No, I understand what you're talking about. That is very internal.
Okay.
You're talking about muscles,
Mhm.
and firstly, your gluteus muscles were not touched.
Okay.
It's another one. Your muscles were not touched because eventually, if anyone wants to watch the video, they'll figure out this is called the Limburg flap procedure, right? So the
Yeah.
flap that they make, they have to release it from the underlying muscles
Mhm.
so that it's mobile and you can
Okay.
basically it's movable into the
Yeah.
position they want. So
Yeah.
the gluteus,
This
whatever
is
you were
going to be
talking
very
about,
difficult for you guys there to imagine what we're talking. But
basically something huge happened.
I think yeah, you should go and check that video out.
You saw the chunk of meat, right?
Right.
How heavy
Yeah.
do you think it was?
I think it was about. It should be about at least.
Not a kilo. That's too
No,
much.
not a kilo. Maybe around
400?
400 to 500 grams.
It was like a.
Yeah.
I think we'll put the picture in.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna leave the picture linked. I'm gonna put the
that's
picture on the
gross.
screen right now.
Okay, let's see.
Okay. I have the picture. I'm gonna put it
I
on
think
the screen
I
right
think
now.
it's too personal.
But
let's
yeah,
see.
basically it's difficult to imagine, but it was a big procedure.
Yeah.
Way bigger than
Basically,
we anticipated.
They cut out a square on and in the back, and they took that square chunk out, and the chunk contained my skin and the fat underneath it. And I'm kind of fat, so the fat layer was pretty thick. That's why it was about 500 grams. So they took that square out. Now, how do you fill that square back up? So they had to cut a sort of another square on the side.
I'll
with-
try to find an animation for this because it's so difficult to understand
Yeah.
with words. Even
With-
with pictures, it's
So the other square was right parallel to the first square, but it was connected from one of the sides, and then it was twisted to this side because skin is pretty elastic, and then sewn back up. Now, this I think this is the best I can do in words.
Do you think we should do video for podcasts?
I think so, we should. Yeah.
You know what? As I was saying that, I realized even if I were gesticulating with my hands, I couldn't explain this.
Yeah.
You just have to see it.
You have to see it.
It's
Yeah.
important. And honestly,
Comment down, guys. Should we start the video?
yeah. And
And,
honestly, props to whoever came up with this because
Yeah,
I am
it's
so
mad.
impressed by
Yeah.
the Limburg flap.
I spent like 3 hours yesterday googling all types of flaps that are possible, and yeah, a lot of other weird, disgusting things. But fine.
And also, comment down below, like Idris said, if you want to see video, it will be of me sitting in a stool and Idris lying in bed on his stomach.
In a lungi.
Yeah. Might be too hot to handle.
Yeah. So, yeah, they did, that's what they did. And yeah, so I was given anesthesia and then I woke up and obviously, like, also I had a drain connected to me.
That's the part that weirded me out the most.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll explain what.
Oh.
I'll explain what a drain is.
Idris just knocked over a lamp.
Yeah. So I'll explain what a drain is. So when that chunk was taken out, right, they do fill it up with skin surrounding that area, kind of, but obviously it's still gonna have a bit of empty space there. Some mass is still lost. So what they do is they make a hole on the side and plug a pipe through it, and the pipe leads to a pressure pump, and it's always under negative pressure. Now that hole in my body, even after stitching it back, the pipe will be inside the hole, and because there's a hole, my body is gonna release fluids in that area, which should not be there in normal cases because it could get infectious. So what what the drain does is that because there's negative pressure at the end of the drain, the pipe that's inside my body.
You're speaking very like ASMR now. Like your
Am I?
your decibel level has gone progressively low to the point where it's very seductive now.
Is it? Thanks. So the negative pressure basically sucks all that liquid out into the thing, the vessel.
Okay, so basically,
We'll put a picture of it.
yeah. So basically, if you were to think of your body as 5 layers stacked one above the other, where number 1 is the top layer and number 5 is the bottommost layer, you're saying that they remove layers, let's say 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 5.
1, 2, 3.
No, because 1 is the skin that they sutured up again.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Number
okay.
1 is on top. So they remove layers 2, 3, 4, and they sutured layer 1 up again. So now there's this hole, this cavity that is formed.
Kind of, and not also, because that means that there's just skin and nothing underneath.
I know, but
that's not
broad strokes, right?
Yeah.
And
basically,
there's a drain.
I think
coming
it's
out
just
of it.
enough to understand that a chunk was taken out and another surrounding area was stretched to accommodate into that chunk.
True.
But there is going to be some space here and there, and
to make
space
sure the
could be-
chunk doesn't get infected,
right.
they poked a hole through you
Yeah,
and put a
poked a hole.
pipe through you.
They put a pipe through me, and the pipe had negative pressure, so it would suck the fluid out.
Makes sense. And you had that for
6 days.
yeah, for like a week.
So yesterday I
almost.
got it removed. Sunday to Saturday.
6 days.
6 days. Yeah, and that was. I mean that.
They even sent
just-
you home with it.
Yeah, they sent me
That's
home. with it.
crazy.
I was back home on Thursday, so that was 2 days I was with it at home.
So we were off on our estimation by 5 days.
Yeah. Dude, just having that. I mean, whenever you look up, you see a pipe through your body that's connected inside your body. There's it's red liquid, so it's basically blood for me, right? And there's this blood flowing into a vessel underneath. And the fear is like, if I move too quickly or if I move in the wrong direction, would it get pulled out? And does it hurt when they pull it out?
Oh, what if it causes more trauma as well?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Because I mean, logically, if I were to poke a blunt hole into you, let's say with a pencil that's blunt, and kept it there for 6 days and then pulled it out, I think it should hurt. But it doesn't.
I think so.
But it doesn't hurt. When I got my drain removed, we'll put pictures down for ease of understanding what we are actually talking about. It didn't hurt at all.
I'm very curious about something.
I felt like something's being taken out, but it didn't hurt at all.
So I'd never expected it to hurt. But here's the thing. The way the drain works is I was saying it crudely, but it is true. They've basically drilled a hole through your skin and it's going from within you to outside you, right?
Yeah.
So when they took the drain out, what did they do with the hole that they drilled? Just sutured it?
No, it's just patched up with dressing on it. It'll heal on itself.
Oh, because it's that small.
Yeah, it's a pretty small hole.
Okay.
I think the diameter of the pipe would be around 10 mm.
Really?
I think so. Not more than that.
So far, I was picturing a pipe that is at least 15 centimeters in diameter.
I used that's then I would say girth of the pipe is that much. No, maybe it was 10 mm. I think so.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. All right.
So Yeah, that's what happened
So that was your
last week.
experience with your blonde mulleted
Yeah.
surgeon.
Yeah.
Damn, that's rough, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel now, though?
I feel much better. I mean, I was a bit I don't know, the mental stress of having a drain connected to your body whenever you walk. I can't walk properly, I can't sit, I can't lie on my back. I have to sleep in a particular way, and if I don't, and if I even if in my sleep, if I turn the wrong way, the drain could get, I don't know, either.
I think the paranoia is more than the
The
actual
paranoia.
thing,
It's all,
right?
yeah. I don't think that, because I'll tell you one thing. When I woke up after my operation, I was lying on my back, and when I woke up, I just saw on the side that there was a pipe connected and going into my ass, and that freaked me out. So I turned on my side,
And since then, you've been on
and
your
since
side.
then I've been on my side or on my stomach.
Okay.
And because the drain is on the left side, I wasn't lying on my left side either. It was always that I was putting all the weight on the right side or on my stomach, never on the left side. But I
Okay.
think I could have put my weight on the left side.
I think you'd be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't like on the left of my body. It was just on my left cheek.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Even the doctor was like, "Don't," because you never know. Like how
I think
you
what
move.
I see from you now more than anything is that you're just frustrated by the small things. Like
Obviously.
we had dinner a while ago and lunch a while ago, and you have to stand up and eat.
Yeah,
which
I
is,
can't sit.
For a second, it was so sad, and then I couldn't stop laughing. It
I
was
can.
so
By the
funny.
way, if anybody here is curious how I use the washroom because I can't sit, I can sit. I'm sure a lot of people have been curious. At least 38 of our subscribers are, because they
Yeah.
are caring, because they subscribe.
Yeah,
Guys, subscribe.
yeah. Over 50% of you are still not subscribed. So subscribe, and each subscription and like and share will be
Yeah.
one get well soon
If,
for
if,
Idris.
if this video gets 1,000 likes, okay,
I
if
will be
this-
okay.
I'll get another surgery for another podcast.
And we'll vlog it this time.
Yeah, we'll vlog it.
Okay, how about this? If this video gets 10,000 likes, you will let me operate on you.
10,000. Fine. I think I would have said yes for 100 likes as well. But okay. So yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I can't sit down. I can sit down, but when I sit down, obviously wherever the stitches are, there is some. I mean that side of my body stretches a bit, which isn't good for the stitches right now.
Of course, yeah. It's very early
And,
stages.
Yeah. So the doctor has said that don't sit for longer period of time, but you can if you want. I think it's like the first 5 days after your stitches, you have to be extra careful,
Hmm.
and then you can be a bit fine. I think it's recommended even to kind of move around a bit so that you don't get the surrounding muscles don't get sore and you get swelling, and that'll be more painful. So try to move as much as you can if you have stitches.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and also like I had this weird fear that stitches are done with uh, basically धागो क्या बोलते हैं?
Thread.
Thread.
Yeah.
ये काट देना.
What do you mean?
ये काट देना.
Okay.
So I used to think that stitches are done with
I'm not going to cut that out.
with thread, and thread is very weak. So I used to feel like, what if it just tears open?
Oh, you thought
Something.
it was normal thread.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no idea.
It's kind of like spidey web. It's very thin and very strong.
It's very strong. It's I think someone told me nylon, but maybe I don't know.
It depends. There's a lot of different ones. Yeah.
Acha.
Some of them are nylon. Yeah.
Nylon.
Yeah.
I think you said nylon.
I said nylon.
Okay.
Graduating in 3 months, guys.
So
Use the promo code.
he's a
Dr.
liar.
Ahmed.
So yeah, they're pretty strong. So there's no need to worry in that. And after your 5th or 6th day, they dry up enough that your skin kind of overlaps the other side, so the stitches won't tear.
The
I mean-
edges of the wound overlap one another.
Yeah, if you stretch your skin, no matter how hard you stretch, it won't tear. So that's exactly what.
Can we try?
No, because it would hurt. It just will tear. It won't tear. So yeah.
So I guess that's about it. That was the little life update that we had.
Yeah.
Not much has happened really, except for that. Except for all of that. I think it's been kind of traumatic, but I think you'll be up and running soon.
Hopefully.
So
I was just starting to get into cycling. I reached the point where I was cycling about 12 to 13 kilometers a day. Not a lot, but I mean it's a start.
Yeah, you went up from 5 kilometers a day.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
went
a
up
lot,
from 5.
right?
Yeah, and it's pretty hot in Dubai, so 5 kilometers was a lot at the time, and now 12 seems a lot. But yeah, all of that has gone to waste because I'm gonna be bedridden for like at least a month now, I think.
I don't know. I think you'll be up and about sooner than that.
Hopefully.
Let's say.
Inshallah.
Good prayers, good thoughts, and good vibes
Yeah.
only.
Guys, like for
One like will be one pain-killing minute for Idris,
Yeah.
and 1 minute sooner that he can be up and running. That being said, we are thinking of a lot of things for this YouTube channel. Some very exciting things are in the works, so stay tuned. Hope you liked that. That was a pretty random one, and
Yeah.
a little life update.
I think we started to record with a completely different topic in mind.
I had no agenda. I never do.
Neither did I, but I had a couple of other things to maybe talk about. Like I had this very interesting question that I wanted to talk about.
Hint it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about. I was gonna be more subtle about it. That I wanted
Don't
to-
need.
why do we wear clothes? Like why? Because if
I
you
was
think
thinking,
about it,
yeah, I was thinking we could do an episode where we just think of like these random questions that we have
yeah,
and just speak about them.
yeah. Because why?
That will be the next episode if
Yeah.
if you like this video.
Yeah, why do we wear clothes is interesting or should be interesting because no other animal on the earth wears clothes. So
And also, why are some what is creepy? Why are some things creepy? A lot of questions.
Yeah,
a lot of questions. Wait for the next episode. Give us good vibes. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Over half of you, I cannot say this enough. Over half of you are still unsubscribed. So please hit that subscribe button, ding dong that notification bell, and we will
and
see
do
you.
share it with your friends if you guys like it.
100%, please. And if you have any suggestions, please comment on the video. Let us know what you think. If you don't want to comment, message us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Our socials are down below. And we will see you on the next one.